What would you do if I were to tell you a secret technique on how to get your parents to leave you alone and stop telling you what to do? Would that be worth something to you? Well, in today's first ever segment of Wisdom of the Greats, yes, very well, I want to share with you all, my young teenage mannies out there, on how you can freak out your parents each and every single time by engaging in this one activity. If you can successfully master this one technique that we're gonna talk about today, you would have discovered a way to stop your parents from telling you what to do and just leave you alone. Now, this technique is something that's not readily taught in school anymore, so you have to pay very close attention to what I'm gonna tell you. This technique was lost in the past 30 or so years, but it has been used by millions of children and teenagers for thousands of years in every country and in all different types of culture. So I'm telling you, this works. This is gonna change your life in such a way that I'm not even worthy enough to really talk about it. So instead, I asked someone who applied this principle at a very early age, and not only did he become a legend in his own right throughout the entire world, but he also got his parents to stop bothering him and let him do his own thing. This individual is none other than the Austrian oak himself, 7-time winner of Mr. Olympia, who just erases the competition. My good friend and occasional workout partner in my dreams, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Thank you very much.
Now, Arnold, we're all a product of what our fathers taught us. So what did your father teach you that enabled you not just to become the legend that you are, but also how did you use this technique to get your parents to, frankly, just leave you alone?
My father gave me that drive, he gave me that fire in the belly, and then with the message, whatever you do, Arnold, be useful.
Oh my gosh, be useful. That's so simple yet so profound. You should really write a book about it, Arnold. Oh, you did already? Okay, well, of course you did. You're the legend. Well, Arnold, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming out on the show. I'm gonna talk to our audience about it. Being useful. I guess if you're useful, you'll not only get far in life, but you'll also not give your parents any reason to be bothering you or telling you what to do. Now, obviously, the opposite of being useful is being useless. Unfortunately, in most Western nations, a lot of young people tend to be pretty useless. I don't know about you, Josh, but I've been in countries where I've seen 7-year-old girls cooking like little chefs right next to their moms. Here in the US, kids are scared of even turning the stove on for some reason. They think the stove's gonna explode. I don't understand why. And I've also talked to 10-year-old boys in rural Central America that they wake up at 4 a.m. to go with their fathers into the fields to plant corn, potatoes, and all the basic stuff that they eat every day. Here in the US, you walk into somebody's house and you ask a teenager, what are you doing? They're like, chilling. Like, what the heck is chilling, right? I mean, things that go into the freezer, that's chilling. Chilling in this country is a slang for I'm doing nothing useful. That's the reason why your parents get frustrated with you and are always telling you what to do.
They don't like you, I don't like you.
No one likes someone who's useless, right? Now, if you'd actually do what you're supposed to do, then your parents wouldn't be bothering you. And here's my nugget of wisdom for the day. You're no good when you're useless. But since your parents can't fire you until you're 18, they gotta be frustrated with your lack of productivity. I want us to look at these two clips real quick from the Norwegian movie called The Ashland. Look at how these two brothers are always working and the third brother is just chilling, gallivanting around the forest, not doing anything useful. Let's see what effect that has on their family.
Good morning, brothers.
What do you mean, good morning? We've been up and working since dawn.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there's more to life than work.
Listen, we all have to pull our weight around the house. And you gotta grow up.
Yep.
Good.
You know what your problem is? You don't realize that your actions have consequences for others. Every time you don't do your chores, it means twice the work for the rest of us. We're out there breaking our backs every day, and you don't even lift a finger.
You see, guys, when you're not being useful, someone else, unfortunately, has to pick up your slack. And when your parents come home and they're tired of dealing with their daily nonsense at work, they're tired of dealing with useless coworkers themselves, they're gonna be bugged at you if you've been useless the whole day and haven't lifted a finger to help out around the house. Listen to me, guys. If you learn how to make your parents' life easier, they're gonna in turn make your life a lot easier. At least hypothetically speaking. Now let me not digress. I told you this video was about how to get your parents to leave you alone, right? So I'm gonna give you 6 surefire ways that you can start being useful today. Now for fun, make sure you look at your parents' faces when you're applying these techniques, because your parents are gonna be perplexed when they see you actually taking action and being useful, pulling some weight around the house. Just learn to smile when you're doing it as you go about your daily routine, and I guarantee you, they won't know what to say. It'll drive them nuts. So are you ready to be useful? Well, pay attention, Josh. This is also for you, okay? Number 1, if you're going to school, wake up by yourself. How is it possible that everyone has one of these mind control devices equipped with an alarm and you can't even use it to wake up? Why do your parents have to wake you up? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if you realize, but your parents need to go to work. They need to be there by a certain time. And if your sorry self doesn't wake up and isn't ready by a certain time so you guys can leave the house and get to school on time, you're gonna make them late. Boy, what's wrong with you? I've been waking you up for half an hour. Man, get your butt up, boom. Get up, man. What's wrong with you? You gotta go to work. Make me late. So what's gonna happen if your parents are late? They could get fired. And if that happens, you're not gonna have any money coming into the house. So you're not gonna have any food to eat. You're not gonna have electricity to charge your useless phones. So no more Snapchat, no more Instagram for you. All right, you don't want that, right? Make sure you wake up on time.
But Uncle V, didn't your parents wake you up?
No, bro, I didn't have my parents waking me up like some little Eminem Mitch. Man, I had to walk to school, I had to take my bike, or I had to get a ride from somebody. So no, nobody woke me up. I had to wake up myself. Number 2, clean up and organize your room. Now, I'm gonna have to break this one down a little bit because some of your rooms, you guys frankly need a little prayer and deliverance. Subsection 1, pick up your dirty clothes. All these dirty socks and underwears that are lying around the floor, pick them up. Put them in a hamper. Don't think of this as actual work. Think of a hamper like a little puppy, you know, that's hungry, and when you feed it with clothes, it's like you're feeding the little puppy. Don't have a hungry puppy, feed your puppy. Subsection number 2, make your bed. Every morning before you go to school, make sure your bed is made. When you join the military, that's one of the first things that they teach you in military basic training. You need discipline in your life. Please guys, if you have stains on your sheets, make sure you wash them. You don't want to have your friends over and they're seeing yellow stains and other stains on your sheets. That's disgusting. Now, if you really want to freak out your parents, you have to apply subsection 3. I'm telling you, this is going to blow their minds. There's a device in your closet that you see your parents use from time to time on a Saturday afternoon about 1:45. It usually wakes you up around that time, right? It's not a torture device. It's called a vacuum. Say it with me. Vacuum. Very good. You can hit the on button and pass it around the floor. It's gonna suck up all the hair and the skin that you shed and all the dirt you brought into your room from your stanky shoes. And if you really wanna freak out your parents, pass the vacuum over the entire house. If you do this, you may even get a raise in your allowance for those of you fortunate enough to even get an allowance. Are we clear on how to clean your room, right? You're clear? Perfect. Moving on. Number 3, wash and put away your dishes. Why is it that some of you leave dirty cups and dishes all over the house? I've been to people's houses that I've seen the same dish in the same place for like 2 weeks. That's disgusting.
You nasty.
When you're done with the dish, don't just leave it in the sink, wash it. For those of you young bucks that go to the gym, think of it as exercise for your wrists. If your wrists hurt, when you're washing your dishes, wear some wrist wraps. We use them in the gym all the time, right? You're not the Wicked Witch of the West. You're not gonna melt because you get water on your body. It's okay to wash dishes.
Question, Uncle V.
Yes, sir.
What about using a dishwasher?
Josh, we're Latin, dude. Come on. We don't use dishwashers. We use dishwashers for storage. You know that. Josh. Number 4, put things back where they belong. Man, this one ticks me off as a parent. Why do you kids take something and not put it back where it goes? Stop driving your parents crazy by moving things around and putting them where nobody can find them. All right? If you take a tool, put it back where it goes. If you take your mom's hair blower or iron, put it back in the organizer. Don't leave it on the sofa. Like other people that I know. And if you take scissors out of the knife storage block under the sink, put it back so I don't have to go out and buy another pair of scissors. Can someone took my old pair of scissors and nobody knows where it's at? Can you believe that, Josh? Having to buy another pair of scissors. Jiminy Crickets. Number 5, Learn how to cook for yourself and do your own laundry. You ain't gonna have your parents around forever. Eventually, you're gonna have to get out of your parents' house. I had a friend of mine in college. The guy was like 54 years old. He got a divorce and ended up moving back in with his parents. So what happened there? The guy had his like 70-something-year-old mother cooking for him and cleaning for him, doing his laundry. How can you be 54 years old telling your mom, I'm hungry. Learn how to crack an egg. The woman can barely move around without her walker, and you're telling her to like cook and clean for you. What nonsense is that? Learn how to cook for yourself. Do your own laundry. The bed is not a place for your laundry, by the way. Make sure you put it away where it goes. It's not that complicated, people. And for our final one, and this one is icing on the cake. This is the cherry on top. If you execute this correctly, your parents will never bug you again. But you gotta be intentional when you do this, okay? You ready for this last one? Here it is. Ask your parents if they need help with anything. If you do this one consistently, you would have leveled up. Even major pain will give you respect.
You are no longer turds. You've graduated to maggots.
If you see your dad repairing the garbage disposal, don't stay playing video games, goofing around, looking around like a zombie on welfare. Go ask him, Padre, you need any help? If the floor is dirty because your friends were over and they left a mess everywhere, take some initiative and pass the vacuum, mop the floor. Don't wait for anybody else to do it. If your parents went out to the grocery store to buy your nasty little snacks, tackies, whatever it is that you guys like to eat, as soon as you hear the door open and the grocery bags making noise, run to help them bring the bags in. Don't let them do all the work for you. Now, if you can successfully and consistently do these 6 useful activities, I guarantee you with 93.4% accuracy that your parents won't bug you ever again and they'll just leave you alone. And if they don't leave you alone, let Uncle V know in the comments below and I'll have a talk with them. Well, that's it for our 6 surefire ways to have your parents leave you alone and stop bothering you. See you in our next video, and remember, whatever you do, be useful.